everybody. Happy Monday, happy New Year, and thanks for joining us on another episode of the Tattoo Weekly. Today we have Jake and Gabe and myself together for the first time in a couple weeks. So we've had a lot of cool episodes since then. We had a really cool one with Mark Lascarbo and a lot of fun episodes coming up. Today we're going to talk about some of our plans for the new year, different places that we're going to be, and yeah, kind of excited to kick things off, starting fresh this year. It's episode number 58. So before we do get started, we want to talk about real quick some of the other live events that we will continue having on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook, or anywhere you can listen to the podcast. So every Sunday, you can catch us live with Jason Leeser at 1 p.m. for Skill Building Sundays. Mondays are a lot of things going on. We start really early at 9 a.m. with James Wisdom's Drawing for Tattooers class. After that, right here at 11 a.m. Eastern, every Monday is a Tattoo Weekly. Then we have later in the evening, Robbie Poles, Let's Talk About Feelings. And if you're an Evolution member, you can join Guy Aitchison's class led by Sandy McAndrew at 9 p.m. Otherwise, on Tuesday mornings, we have Ricardo Sturdivant's drawing group. Wednesdays is our business roundtable with Gabe. We can touch on that if anyone has questions. We've been doing that for several months, and it's been really effective. On Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern is Tattoo Collecting 101. We also have other live events that we do. We have Renee Little's paint jams that are happening, I think, the third Monday of every month. So those are really awesome. Tons of different things like that. Live in the Castor will be back. So yeah, we want to say thank you to Alex Van Dutch's World Tattoo Events. We're going to maybe talk about that a little bit today at worldtattooevents.com. Jake Meeks Fireside Tattoo, Gabe's TattooNow, and of course, Guy Aitchison, the inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo. Before we do get started, you guys just let us know that all these streams are working in the chat, tag a friend, any of that good stuff. And yeah, I think it's time to kick off. Gabe, Jake, what's up?
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Good morning. Happy New Year's. Woohoo. I did have things planned. I'm like, okay, new year. I'm going to start off fresh new site, new email campaign to go out. I'm going to get everybody set up on all the, oh shit, I guess I'm going to keep putting things together. Anyways, how are you? I'm Gabe from TattooNow.com. Welcome to 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, same here. I sat up. I don't know why last night I didn't sleep at all. I'm sure you can tell looking at my face. I just woke up a few minutes ago, and it's funny because I guess it's because it was New Year's. You automatically go into that mode of trying to figure out what you're going to change. And then the first thing when I turned on the TV this morning, when I did get up there talking about New Year's not treating it as just another day and using any occasion that you can find, the first of each week, the change of seasons, your birthday, any of those, any other kind of catalyst for change, and not putting all your eggs in the New Year's basket. I was like, oh, good, yeah. For some reason, I stayed up all night thinking about it.
Man, well, nice introduction, Jake.
Thanks.
Well, that's good advice, though. That is pretty good advice.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was. So, by the way, I'm Jake from the Fireside Tattoo Network. You can check us out at firesidetattoo.com.
Awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and roll our clip.
All right.
Sorry. All right.
Right. So what is our agenda for today? We have no guest, is that right?
Yeah, just us today.
Nice.
I feel like I'm a guest because I haven't been on for a while.
It has been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Anything new and exciting in your world that you'd care to share with the audience, or just
yeah, actually, so a lot of changes. I don't know how much I've really talked about this, but I'm going to be doing more this year with Worldwide Ink magazine. So I'm going to partner with Alonso Gonzalez, which I've known for about a decade. He's a really cool guy, black and gray artist out of Dallas. He owns the Black Rose Tattoo Studio. So we've been talking quite a bit, getting on the same page about how we're going to do things. So publicly, there you go, everybody. That's something that's big that's happening with me. He
Nice.
does put on the
Awesome.
Tattoo Collectors Expo. So I'd like to talk about that a little bit later when we get into what we're doing in August. And other than that, yeah, it's kind of a great platform for me because personally, I love going to events. I love talking with artists, taking photos, writing, website things. So the magazine is a great platform for that type of thing.
Yeah.
And having like a print magazine is absolutely still, you know, an advantage over, you know, phones and scrolling, you know, just, I mean, again, I, you know, got magazines right here, you know, they're awesome. So that's great. That's fun.
I would say
you obviously got great taste in artists. So
yeah. I would say now more than ever, because everything we see is digital. Gabe, you and I were talking, we talked on and off about the little mailers, the TattooNow kind of mini magazines. Is that what they're
I
called?
love those things.
Yeah, you know, and I think about, you know, back when I used to get those, they were great, but back then I also got other kind of magazines and physical stuff in the mail.
Sure.
And now I think about how little, like how useful my mail, or how useless my mailbox is. Like nothing really comes there. I don't get bills there really. They all come through email, and I don't get a lot of magazine subscriptions. So if you did, you know, if you do have a print magazine or something like that, TattooNow mini magazine, I think it probably stands out to people more now than it ever has before, because you just don't see that stuff as often.
One.
Yeah, the part about the magazine is that like it can be done right or wrong, but I think the magic is in the curating of it and what type of content you have. So it is cool because Gabe, you have, like, we've even looked through there's just tons and thousands and thousands and thousands of artists that are utilizing TattooNow. So it's kind of pretty cool, you know, to be able to curate a content load like that. You know, it's desirable to have that in your mailbox.
Yeah. Well, and we've also allowed people to upload print quality pictures for a while. Again, specifically with, you know, print in mind. Not many tattooers will take advantage of it, but you know, again, for me, it's like having the you know, the print. Hey, there are still people that buy magazines on the stands also. Like there's the subscription based, and you know, again, sometimes, you know, and I don't want to give away too many secrets, right? But sometimes those like legacy marketing outlets or publication outlets, you know, are awesome, right? I mean, like again, like cable access TV and stuff. We had, you know, our old shop had you know, a similar show on cable access TV. You know, it was awesome. And but you know, it was a lot of work, but no one else was doing it on cable access. So anyways, a lot of those you know, direct mail, you know, getting pretty thing. You know, now I was looking through all my old you know, marketing stuff, all the trifolds that we would direct mail out to people. I mean, Jake, to your point, like not many people are sending you things that look awesome and pretty, make you want to open them up. And as artists, you know, you should be able to figure that out.
Right. It's funny that you were doing all of those things, and traditional, or kind of traditional businesses, legacy types of companies were doing direct mail, and they did have advertisements and things like that on cable access TV. But it seems revolutionary in the tattoo world because no one thought to do that except for you. You know, who else had a cable tattoo show on TV?
Well, and a lot of people are like, who watches cable access? I'm like, I don't know, but like, it seems like a fair amount. I go to the you know, bank, and they're like, oh, hey, we saw your thing on TV. I went to here, and they're like, because if people are flipping the channels and they see pretty pictures and they see here, you know, I don't even know why we don't have this on. We could get this on the cable access you know, shows.
Yeah, our grandmas can watch it.
Yeah,
we could bring back cable, save it like that, like Howard Stern did for Sirius XM, and then we really name our price once we bring all the people back from Netflix to cable access.
You know, I would propose first we update the introduction.
Right.
Then we just have like a little buzzer for every 20 you know, every 20 minutes we move on to the new segment, and then we could certainly upload it to a cable access. I have all the codes and stuff still.
Back talking about just those ideas in the print magazine. Whenever we first started building the new Fireside site, Gabe was adamant that we transcribe all of our episodes and transcribe them accurately, and then embed the transcriptions or link the transcriptions in our kind of web page for each episode. And it's a significant amount of work to do it right, because we have long form content. And I wasn't sold that he was right on the front end. I thought that was probably overkill. But what I started thinking about whenever as we were doing these, and I'm looking at the interviews and I'm reading the transcriptions, is they're really perfect for print magazines. We could take chunks of interviews that we've done over the years and partner with, you know, any tattoo magazine to have some of these, you know, longer form interviews that would be great content, especially if they were, you know, curated a little bit and cleaned up and all the ums and ahs taken out.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, Jake, about like just material in general. Like when you have when you can transcribe them, it's just a different way that you digest them in comparison to a video, you know, and that is really cool that you say that. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah, me too. I don't see any reason that it shouldn't, especially as we continue to build these transcriptions. And Gabe's original idea, or the reason he may have been thinking about that already, but about the multi-purpose kind of idea. But the main thing is so that Google can kind of scrub the content and see all the keywords and actually rank us better. And so that's where the original kind of concept came up, to make sure that our transcriptions were accurate. But yeah, as I was reading them, going through them and proofreading them, I thought, man, this would be great just to drop in and, you know, and drop photos in, because when we do interviews, say with anyone, and it's 45 minutes long, and we're talking about a specific tattoo or we're talking about a specific artist, if the person isn't looking at the screen watching YouTube, they're just listening to it, they're not seeing any of the stuff that we're talking about. But if we did it in print, we could literally just drop the image that we're talking about in the, you know, on the page to break up the interview, and you know, just like anyone else would do with a magazine interview. And you really, I think, absorb the information, to your point, in a different way, and you get to see some of the stuff that we're talking about because you're obviously looking at the page already. So
yeah, and you slow down. There's a lot less distractions when you have something in your hand. Say if you're going to catch a flight, or you're in an Uber, or you're waiting for an appointment, that's what you're digesting. Nothing else. Not all the notifications and stuff. Nothing digital. You know.
Right. Yeah. So do you know, Lauren, specifically what your role is going to be with, as you say, it's Worldwide Inc.? Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, Worldwide Inc. magazine. Yeah, like between Alonso and I, creating, curating, covering, putting together files such as that, like the whole shebang. And we'll be doing some conventions and things like that. You know, traveling. You've worked with me enough to kind of see what I do at a convention, booth setup and stuff like that. But we'll work with different artists. There's an existing team of artists that already work with the magazine, which is pretty cool. I don't know, maybe 15, 20 people. Yeah. So yeah, I talked to Owen Pauls, by the way, Gabe, who
he's
says,
awesome.
I don't know if I told you, but he just said to say hello and he'd love to work with Reinventing. But he was talking to me about doing a feature with the magazine again. He was featured before. So that seems like a really cool idea. And you know, there's rabbit holes upon rabbit holes with what you can do with that type of thing, creating, you know, a more extensive digital presence as well, like YouTube, all the things that we do really, and tying everything together.
Sorry, I didn't mean to just like blast over with the magazine here, but I did want to mention just to Jake in particular. Yeah, man.
I'm not seeing it. I just see a gray screen. I don't know about everyone else.
Oh, okay. Let me. Sorry about that. Ooh, bad form. So yeah, the goal really is to have that all of the text tie into, well, here I'm going to show off this is the old tattoo mini mag, and we'll bring it. We will bring it. We got to bring it back at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this
it really was
this guy.
Oh, nice.
This one here. And Jake, so to your point, like a lot of the articles would come straight from the videos, and but we would put up, you know, maybe you know, where's some of the features here, like, so the Taransky, right? So we would grab a lot of this stuff, the quotes, you know, the images, and when we have looks like I'm going far, we would have points for these images when they were going out to, when we had videos. So if somebody was checking this out, they say, oh, Bob Tyrell, they could go to the website and know that we have video interviews.
Yeah, these are really nice.
Up there.
Yeah.
So it's tying in and again, like all of the different kind of channels together, but again, in a print magazine like that people gobbled them up at the conventions. That was fun.
Did you rely more on
Lauren, I'm happy to help as much as I can, because I know how much work it is.
Oh yeah, it's a shit ton of work for sure. And the thing I like about what I just saw, Gabe, is like I know your style, so I can tell, but it's like you in there, and it kind of that's where your attention stays. So it's different from like looking at that online. I would love to work with you further, because when you look at it online, your goal is to bring you somewhere else, or like there may be a funnel, or there may be something with the online presence that you have. But with that magazine, I can tell the way that you designed it looks really cool, and it's totally TattooNow.
Yeah.
With punchlines and headers and cool pictures here, and like the links and all that. That's nice.
Yeah, and like the
You don't normally
infographics.
see that. Yeah.
It was yeah, it's fun. At that point I had a team. There was a little bit more of an engine behind what I had going on. But on the other hand, yeah, I have the file. I have the files too. So at some point we'll do some more print stuff. We'll start with like a bifold.
Yeah.
Did you rely more, or did you distribute more through just conventions, handing them out, or was it circulated pretty significantly and mailed out? It was more that it wasn't as much mailing out to people's shops or residences.
Now, they basically evolved from my love of street team, and also doing a lot of different stuff, right? So like for me, I would always want to get posters out on the streets, and I got the new posters. I'm psyched. So, for the new tattoo gathering, I'm gonna start.
I saw it this morning on social media. It looks great. That's the one that was done by Marcus and
Kaya. But Kaya took over, and so I think she's got the credit on the poster, Kaya Heitland, and
really
Marcus
good.
has got his influence and was working with a previous version of the poster, but it's awesome. And anyway, point is, all of a sudden, and I'm almost there again, right? Because there's a couple more events. There's that I'm working on. We'll talk about, and this, but ultimately it was the studio that was the financial engine behind, that was able to, behind it. Excuse me. And but because what would happen is I have like 3 postcards to do for events, 2 postcards for studios, guest artists, webinars, websites. At one point I was like, why, instead of doing all these different postcards and trifolds, let's just put it all together, and grab a couple of sponsors, some other friends and like-minded businesses, and then all of a sudden, yeah, we had a little mini magazine together. But after it was like 5 or 6 issues, I think. It became apparent that, well, who knows? I don't need to get too far into it. Anyways, it was fun. It was effective. To your point, the distribution was mostly local, as well as at tattoo conventions and with suppliers. Okay. So, the people, some of the suppliers that were sponsoring the magazine would get copies to pass out in their orders or at conventions. But we were pretty much going straight to artists and collectors, at conventions and through supplier, channels.
That's pretty cool. Another thing I was going to mention, Jake, I haven't really told anyone yet, except for kind of Gabe and stuff, but I'm also going to be working with Needle Jig.
Oh, nice. I knew you were meeting with Mark a little bit. What type of work are you going to be doing with them?
I guess I can elaborate more I'll elaborate more further about what I'm doing. But right now we're kind of building out and asking questions and building a really cool foundation, I guess you could say, on how things work. So that will be starting pretty much today. I'm excited because Mark I like to be around people who know a lot more than I do. And he thinks that I know more than him in the position that I will be taking. So interesting enough, I guess.
Yeah.
But Gabe works with Needle Jig too, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I'm up there one day a week.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're still working, Lauren, with Guy on the Biomech Encyclopedia, or is that pretty well automated at this point? Or you?
No, yes, I'm still working with it. We still have a lot of things to set up with it, but still doing that.
Yeah.
Well, here, let me show that off a little bit. Let's see here, because I guess I have one back here.
Wow.
Maybe you want to feature me.
I have one nearby, but not in this room.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, people have been
That's
asking
great.
if they're limited edition. I don't know if he's going to do another run of them, but we're getting close to being out. And sometimes people are like, "Wow, that's massive," and European shipping is crazy. But as you can see, it's massive. Everything is of super high quality. Hey, it's Baxter here. We'll talk
Baxter.
about him a little bit for Inspiring Tours. It's Dan Hanks' head.
Oh, really? Okay.
Dan, he's a smart guy, that guy. Yeah, it's got all sorts of it's out of control, this thing. And it's 2 volumes there. So this is the other one back there. Oof. Okay.
Yeah. Comes with a little slipcase, so that's nice too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing with needle jig that I enjoy the most is well, right now, I really enjoy working on new platforms and putting ideas digitally, mind mapping, projecting goals, and Mark's totally into that too. So I want to hone in on that soon, and I guess I can share weekly little updates or things that we're working on. It's pretty interesting.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that meetup that we went to, that I wish you would have, worked out that you could have gone, but that was pretty cool. And he mentioned doing more in other places as well.
The one at Jiminy Peak.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wish I could have made that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things he wanted to make sure was happening was the like the networking. And for me, I'm always like, what, that happens. I don't want to, that happens, and it's part of why I do bringing everybody together. But like, I'm so against like trust falls and shit. I just stray away from it. So I love partnering with people or helping people that have that in mind. And a couple times it's happened, and so this time, there was definitely like some networking where everyone was, kind of speed networking and meeting different people, and the effect, a couple people, and as always going into it, it's like, oh, that's kind of what I'm not really, into that kind of, and then by the end of it, everyone's like talking with new people, meeting new friends, and those kinds of connections, last. There's people that'll do guest spots or hire people, coming from those, evenings like that. So it was awesome that Mark made sure that happens, in a good way. And, and of course he brings his technical expertise of, understanding the way that the mechanics of it all work. And so, yeah, he'll let you know his, what's the point? All he knows about needles. Is, it's awesome to hear people, they've been tattooing sometimes 10 years, walk away being like, oh man, okay. Now I understand, more about needles.
Yeah.
That was helpful for me. So
yeah.
What about anything new with you, Jake?
Not in particular. We've been still just plugging away and trying to refine the processes for better curating, organizing all of our library of existing content, and that's gotten in the way a little bit of creating new content. But I just think it's worth it. I was feeling a little bummed that we had created so much content over the years, but did such a poor job curating it and making it searchable and accessible. And so this job, I feel like, is really worth it, because it takes all those years of work and makes them a lot more accessible. So that's what we've been doing a lot. And Dan, who is probably watching now, has been a big part of it, and Gabe, obviously. And so what we're trying to do is just start to assemble. We had shrunk the team down significantly. So my assistant, Allie, who helps me with a lot of things, I pushed her out of Fireside for a period of time. And we had tested a few different types of workflows with different teams. And we just found that a small team was best. It's basically me, Dan, and Gabe. And now we're starting to, now that it looks like we have a good set of systems and processes in place, we're starting to add people back in. And so that's where a lot of our efforts gone lately. It's like, as we build one of these, what Gabe's going through right now is kind of a deep dive page. And as we build these deep dive pages, we want to be able to splinter off pieces of those deep dive pages that are really easily digestible and are made in all the different formats so that they can be shared easily on the different social channels and things like that. And that's where we're kind of like, it's just a matter of moving around parts and trying to find a flow that works, and so that's what we've been doing more than anything. It's kind of gotten in the way of a lot of other projects, but I think it's worth it.
it's like a tremendous amount of quality content. And yeah, no, it's fun. It is fun to see the numbers, right? So getting into the the analytics, and I guess we'll be showing that off as I think we officially just relaunched this maybe a couple of weeks ago. It's still so you're saying it's it's a work in progress, of course, but this is there's a lot of content here now that's really accessible.
Yeah, I think we had, the last I looked, we had less than 30, 20 something, 25, 26 of the kind of deep dive pages, and we haven't done all the splintering content off of those, but you have to think, we've got a lot of work in to only have 26 pages, and while I believe that'll speed up significantly, we have like 750 episodes, so it's it's not something that's going to be done quickly, but it's something we can hopefully what happens is we start to sprinkle in equal amounts of deep dive pages from previous Fireside episodes and new content that we're creating. And so we kind of have a week of this, a week of that, is kind of the way that I see it going forward. So for example, this was our most recent episode, and it's already built out into a deep dive page. If you guys didn't see the episode with Javi, you should check it out. It was really good. We talked about 3D software, ZBrush, and how he uses it, and we talked about the comparing working from a sphere and molding and creating things in 3D software as opposed to buying pre-made what's the term,
models,
pre-made kind of models, and manipulating those and lighting those. And so he had a lot of really great ideas, and it actually inspired me to, I didn't buy ZBrush, but I did get one on the iPad called Nomad Sculpt. I don't know if anyone, let me know in the comments if anyone's using that, because I'm still trying to learn more about it. But I've been watching tutorials on it, and rather than being $800 or $850 like ZBrush, Nomad Sculpt is something like $14 or $15.
Dan, and we've got a spelling error here. It's a good thing that wasn't a tattoo. Oh shit, let me get off. Sorry.
Going through,
can we delete that? Can we delete that?
I saw something too.
Yeah, so but yeah, anyways, that was a great episode. But yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to. And then we'll start to lay out. In fact, one of my projects for this week is to go through and lay out all of the live events that I've already committed to, which is no tattoo conventions this year, but committed to the Inspiring Tours with Gabe, and a handful of other events. I've committed to go to spend a few days in Omaha with sorry, I just woke up. I'm
you know what I was thinking? I was thinking maybe should we just go in order and like start from like January and then go on out, so we could just think
we can. Yeah, I don't know what Dave Koenig was the name I was looking for. Sorry. Cool. Spent a couple of days with Dave Koenig in Omaha, but and then I've a few other things that are kind of sprinkled through. But yeah, if you want to do it that way, I don't know that I can concretely say what is what I'm doing.
Sure. Here's Dave's spot here in Omaha.
Yeah, Dave's really incredible, and one of the great kind of like people that you'll meet in tattooing too. Just a really genuine guy. And so what we're going to start doing, rather than just 30, 45-minute, hour-long interviews on Zoom, is they're going to try to go start spending a handful of days at shops and do deeper dive, process-based episodes. So they may be multi-part, they may be different kind of formats, still kind of playing with what it's going to look like, but a longer period of time to get to know someone and follow them around and see what it is that they actually do.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think we'll get a lot more out of it. That's beautiful. Really nice.
Oh man, I've got to hold on.
One of the reasons that I chose Dave first is because when I'm thinking about people and their processes, he has, to me, one of the most unique and recognizable styles in tattooing. There are obviously a lot of people who do unique things in tattooing, but his stuff is really, really his own. His figures are drawn in a very specific kind of way, and his marks are really unique. And so I really just wanted to spend some time and watch him draw. And he actually volunteered to create a start to finish piece while we're there, a painting, whatever we want to do. And so I think that'll be a lot of fun, just to be over his shoulder and talk while he creates something start to finish.
That's really cool too.
Yeah.
When did you say you're doing that? August?
No, I think it's going to be around May, but I don't have a set date. So that's my problem. I'm committed to a lot of things, but I need to organize my schedule. I've committed to go and spend some time with Russ Abbott down in Atlanta in February, but we don't have dates set. Same thing. There's a studio that reached out to me that is really, really interesting. They're in Brooklyn, New York, and they're called Atelier Eva, EVA. And I don't know if it's pronounced Eva.
You can't just be blasting all over the place. So we got Ink and Dagger.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fired up here.
Sorry.
Who's the next spot?
Yeah, so Ink and Dagger, I'm going to go down, I think, in February. We don't have a date set yet. And do something with Russ, and probably some type of a hybrid thing for Fireside and for his Launchpad community, which is really taken off. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. But usually when Russ and I get together, we come up with ideas pretty easily.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And then where's the next spot?
The next spot, it's in Brooklyn, and it's called Atelier Eva. I'll have to, if you look up the lady who owns it, I had a nice long conversation with her husband. Let me pull up on my phone real quickly and look at her work. It's really unique. And you'll see when you see it why it was appealing to me to go out, because I'll have 1,000 questions for her. Look at, if you go to Insta, okay, there you go. Maybe open a tab and let's see, Eva. Here it is. Okay,
this is it here, right? Till Eva.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, click on any of the studio itself. It's really.
Can you see this?
Yes. It's really an incredible spot. They have 2 locations in Brooklyn, and they're just really beautiful. Kind of reminds me of the who is it in that's married, I think in Colorado there's a shop that's all white like this. It reminds me a lot of this space. Isn't that incredible? Beautiful, huh?
It's really nice.
Yeah. Oh man, sorry. I woke up too late. My brain isn't working. Who's married to Ryan Ashley?
Arlo.
Yeah, Arlo.
Yeah, he bought a church.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. He was all excited because it was not that long ago, before they had the little boy. But yeah, church.
Yeah, kind of reminded me of that. But if you look at Eva, if you can go to portfolios and look at Eva's maybe you can go to her Instagram. It should, yeah, you should be able to. She has her own Instagram as well. That
is this KRB?
EVA, yeah, that's her. And so she does this kind of micro. I wanted to find some of her color work. I should have shared in them. She does these really. There you go. Yeah, click on. Yeah, that's her. These, yeah. So when I saw that she was doing this kind of stuff, her husband reached out. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm curious. I really want to talk to her about that, about just her process and how she started doing these soft painterly kinds of things, and then what they're looking like as they come back healed. And so I have a lot of questions. They look really nice. They're very soft, and she has a massive following, really, really huge. Something.
Holy yeah, 611. Bam.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to go there sometime in the spring as well. I don't have that pinned down. They asked me to come out and teach a workshop, and then maybe look at doing something that is some type of a collaborative video type of thing. They want to get into video. They've also partnered with some of the larger suppliers, distributors that and are trying to build something bigger. So they have a little financial backing, which I'm curious about.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's my start to the year.
That sounds really cool. Well, I
yeah.
mean, January is the Philadelphia Tattoo Convention on the weekend of January 20th. So,
You want to share it up?
Yep.
And you're headed there?
believe so.
Awesome.
But yeah, I've been there tons and tons of times. There are pros and cons of a large event like that. We talked about it last year, maybe even before that, but it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's huge, the Philly show. This is the one that Troy does?
Mhm.
Yeah, massive, crazy big. Whew. Yeah. Potentially, I think the biggest in the States. Are you getting
Biggest in the world. Yeah, my computer's just a little slow. Biggest in the world. I remember the show I was at where they set the record. I think it was 2016.
Yeah, that's and what. So what's the biggest one in the attendance? Not bigger than Tattoo Week in Brazil, maybe.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember asking that question because at the time I don't think I knew about that.
Brazil Tattoo Week is, I mean, I think it's like 60 to 80,000 or something in
Tattoo
Brazil.
Week is massive. Actually, they didn't
Wow.
have it too long ago, actually. So yeah,
Huh.
Philadelphia, January 20th to 22nd here.
Okay, that's your next
No.
stop.
Yep. And we know that Jason is in Philadelphia, pretty much.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Is he going to be
He'll be
there at
there.
the show, or who you seen at the show?
yeah, Jason will be there.
Yeah, cool.
Take some photos and do stuff like that. Man, we could go forever on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
that's the
list is
next.
huge. Mhm.
Yeah, that's the next thing. What about you? Anything in January, Gabe?
So let's see. I don't know if nope, January, February. I think I'm just hammering through some software. Then February, March. March, I think, is the Queercation March in New Mexico.
Mm.
So I think that's my next spot that I'm heading out to here. Let me get fired up. So this is it's in Santa Fe, awesome spot. You know, it's for LGBTQ plus and all allies, of course. But it's it's all tattoos. So it's seminars, entertainment, discussion panels. Yeah, it's right in Santa Fe. So
Nice.
we get psyched for this.
Yeah.
Tickets have been moving. The hotel seems to be going. So and they got a killer lineup. They got a great, amazing lineup. Excuse me, horrible metaphors. But yeah, I mean, some of the tattooers have been around, and
A lot of these have actually been on the Live in the Castro too. I know that Who Tattoo, a handful of those artists. If you're interested and you see someone you'd like to hear from, you could look up Live in the Castro, and I believe you have a playlist of all of those, but maybe 4 or 5 of them. And that's cool to get to hear from them. I know Joel was really cool and super funny. I really like to hear just different perspectives. Haley, of course, hosts it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to know Haley a little bit at the Paradise Gathering last year, I guess, or year before last now. And I really liked her a lot. She's awesome. She's really funny. A lot of fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say before we move too far in the future, but February will be doing something. Gabe, were you gonna say anything else about the Queercation thing?
No, I mean, mostly it's awesome. She's working with Leslie, who's on there, is in meetings with me and Haley, and then they have a whole crew there, West, who's helping kind of by committee, which is amazing. Like just to watch them kind of get together, and again, it's like a whole another committee that's designed to like come up with ideas, and they're doing art shows and such. They have scholarships. It's pretty awesome. Again, mostly. To see how different communities kind of really do rally together in creative ways, and it's awesome to see. So yeah, anyways, I'm really excited for that. And then that's mostly all I want to say about it was they've got a really cool thing going on. Just the way that they're doing their event production.
Do you have a live streaming at all for planned?
Yeah, we should be. Yeah, we'll be heading out there with the reinvented cameras and live streaming it. I believe we got to take care of all the details and such. But
okay, I was just curious. Okay. What I was going to say, in February, I'm doing an event with Tommy Kirschbaum, and I spoke about him before, potentially here, or maybe on Ricardo's podcast, where unfortunately his son passed away in October.
Oh.
So a long story
Cool.
short, they did a benefit for him in Marshfield. It was a complete convention, and it was specifically to raise awareness about fentanyl. And not only that, but to do free tattoos, memorial tattoos. So that was largely successful. And it's important because 300 people die a day from fentanyl in the United States, which is pretty crazy. So there's another event planned in Kenosha, which is, inviting tattooers. You can actually write it off for your time there for $200 an hour, which is really cool. But free tattoos, it's a single day event, February 18th, a drug awareness event. So I'm going to be doing that.
Good.
And then I think typically I plan to go to Chicago every March.
What's in Chicago?
It's another villain arts event.
Okay.
Which is relatively close to where I live in the Midwest.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
Is that when January, February, March? Is that when we're doing our March, April?
I think April is our inspiring tours. And then we are sandwiched in between Nick Baxter and Sean Barber the week before us, I think. And then
so are we done with February?
I don't have it. And the only thing I have in February is the Toronto trip, but that's not tattoo related. That's just my quarterly coach trip. But I'm excited about it for this quarter. I'm excited for it for every quarter.
That one looks really cool.
Yeah, so here we go. So this is the Sam O'Reilly house, where the next round of inspiring tours is happening. Jake, you were talking about Jason Zuby as the owner. He owns a tattoo shop as well as a bed and breakfast. And so this is April 14th to 16th is the inspiring business with us. And as you were mentioning, we're sandwiched in between. After is Nikki Simpson and Tej Poole doing tattooing and collaborative tattooing and critiquing. And then before, so I don't know what you're doing, Jake, but we're certainly overlapping, is Nick Baxter and Sean Barber doing their, they're basically coming back. They did this last year, and we're adding one more day. So it's 1 day of still life, 1 day of plein air, and then 1 day of portrait painting, live portrait painting. And then they'll do the collaborative tattoo. It's like limited to 6 or 7 people per tour. So now it's the first though. So Jake, we need to launch that video and make sure people know exactly what's happening. It's happening. We, the other day we were on a stream and they're like, "Is that still happening?" Yes. We should give you the button to click the buttons.
Right.
Which is right down here. So it's inspiring.tours is the website, and then you can pick up. You can put in the deposits for any of the inspiring tours here. I'm
excited about that. Particularly, there's just the group size. I love doing whether they're workshops or seminars for small groups of people, because you really get to kind of you can gauge whether or not what you have to say is landing a lot easier when you're just looking at 6 or 7 faces, and you have a lot more time and less pressure, a lot more time to actually engage and get feedback and try to help problem solve on a more personal level, rather than being in front of 15 or 20 people where you just could you couldn't afford to give or hundreds of people like at some of the bigger gatherings.
Yeah, I mean, by the time by the time they got to the critiques, there was already a whole world of interactions and lessons learned and stories told, and there was no line, behind them. There's no pressure to like rush a critique, and again, they kind of went more efficiently because it was already, like I said, a shared experience and background and whatnot. Hey, see, and this is what I was talking about when we were talking about painting. We do this here and whatnot. And the setting is just pretty unbelievable. And the inspiring tours of the events, some of my favorites. It's and it's designed to have an open-ended experience. I remember going into it, there was people like, you got to like map it all out perfectly every time. And it also depends on the teachers. Again, we're curating teachers that know how to do this, right? But part of it is really just navigating the what people are needing. So it's like we don't want to map it all out right away. We just want to have one event a day, maybe 2, and from there we get to improvise, and we're doing stuff and being productive, but it's very much catered to the people that are there.
Yeah And one of the mindsets that we talk about a lot in coaching that we in our weekly meetings we talk about is the who, not how, and it's a matter of building great teams rather than having this kind of rugged individualist mindset. And one of the great things about being in small groups like that is you end up finding your who's, because you're likely, you know, if there's 7 people there, a couple of them are there for the same reason, probably, you know, and then really the value that we bring is facilitating those connections even more than whatever information we have to share. It's more about the connections that we generate between other people. And it's not just the 7 people there, you know, we all know a lot of people. And so you're sitting and you're talking to someone at lunch or at dinner or during a brainstorm session, you go like, oh, I know exactly who you need to talk to about that. You know, they're not here, but I can put you in touch. And so, you know, you end up with, in those small groups, I think you end up having such a great impact because there's just so much flexibility for, you know, an opportunity for connection like that. So, yeah, so hopefully we can find 7. I don't know how many we have so far, but hopefully we can find 7 folks to come out and share a couple of days with us, and we can all get a little smarter because of it.
Yeah. And that's March, right? March? No, that's April. That's April.
April, yeah. Yeah, I would love to be there for Nick and Sean Barber's thing. My son's 13th birthday is April 11th, which is right in the middle of their...
That is not happening then.
Can't do that. No.
You might say, hey, we'll make sure we'll get you in on when you can after.
Yeah, I definitely want to come and do theirs for sure. I don't know Sean. I bought one of his painting DVDs before he was tattooing. It was when he was doing the tattooed portrait series. Mm-hmm. So he was known in the tattoo world for painting portraits of tattooers, but he wasn't tattooing, I don't think. And he had a DVD that came out where he painted a skull, and I bought that. God, I don't know, 10 or 12 more years ago. I have no idea. But he really struck me at that point as a really great teacher and a great, you know, personality. And so, and Nick's a good friend of mine. So I'd love to make time to take it.
Let's show him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Sean and Barber painter. Yeah, his paintings and his tattoos, but his paintings clearly are out of control. And his, you know, brought him straight into the right tier of, you know, he contributes. He's a contributor, right? He's not like there to fuck around. Mm-hmm. He's, you know, he came to the art retreats a couple of years and was just like, you know, there to do art. Mm-hmm. And clearly, yeah, the tattoo portrait series, let's see, 2023. So this is his latest.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen these.
You know, it's all, what's going on here?
I love his style of painting where he you know, it's loose and he leaves a lot of brushwork, and he doesn't hide the fact that it's paint. And then especially in some of those, when he did the kind of machinist series where he did a handful of tattoo machine builders, and they're in their little workshops and it's dimly lit, and it, you know, in the kind of the light kind of washes over the figure, and the edges are very like soft and almost, you know, like you know, almost lost in some areas. I love the
Artist Workshop series. Here we go.
I love the painterly kind of quality. Yeah, that one right there is really nice.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure. Like, I can't even believe sometimes these experiences that we're able to curate. I mean, I guess I was just thinking that we, you know, trying to do you know, the inspiring tour there on the boat. Mm-hmm. I think that we might have missed setting dates for next summer or fall, or like I guess now would be the time to figure the that's on my agenda for this week. I do want to start the Fireside Yacht Club trips this year. I'd like to try to get 3 of them in if possible. So yeah, need to hit the ground running on this stuff and get I guess we need our upcoming events tab or embed into the main page of Fireside so we can make those. You know, I have that on my notepad here for TattooNow's homepage to be like, wait, let me just blast the main events that we're headed to, and really, you know, all we have to do is wake up and then promote each upcoming event, whether it be virtual or real, and that's a real easy thing to get in the habit of. But yeah, so here's Nick's out of control.
Nick has really been doing some interesting stuff with video lately too. I don't know if it's him or if he has someone there in Austin that's running a camera and editing for him, but some of the stuff he's done looks really great. His video work.
Is it on the Instagrams?
Maybe just in stories and stuff as well. I'm not sure. I just know that I've seen a handful that I thought, wow, I wonder if he did that himself.
This is what we're looking at. He's always been, oh, geesh.
Oh yeah, showing
That's
his
his
entire
recap.
year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he got married this year. Crazy.
Yeah.
I love this move that so many really great tattooers have started to just go back outside and get photos and videos of their tattoos rather than and posting a lot more healed tattoos.
Look at that.
Yeah, so nice. Rather than these concentrated kind of single light sources where the edges of the body are disappear into the background and all that. I like this so much more.
Yeah.
Talked to along those lines, and then he posts one on a black background. I was talking to Javi about that in our last interview, about this kind of temptation to like oversaturate or just cheat tattoos a little bit, just push the glow a little bit, or saturate the blacks a little more in post-production and photography. And it just kind of popped in my head while we were talking about it that I don't give myself the opportunity to do that because I photograph against a white background. And it's something about being able to see the edges of the body. It keeps it in my mind that I'm showing a photo of a tattoo, not like a digital image or anything. And whenever you're in a black background with one light source, especially with black and gray tattoos and stuff, and you can let the edge of that body kind of like disappear into the background. So all you see is the tattoo, but you can't even tell what the tattoo is on. Like, is that a thigh or is that a forearm or is that a whatever? Because it's just like black and it bleeds into the image. I think that tempts people to really like push, the edit a little too far. And it just came up in natural conversation as we were talking. And I was like, I think the reason that I don't ever do that, for one, I don't want to do that. But I think the reason I'm not that tempted to do it is because I photograph on that white background and I can always see the edges of the part of the body and I can't get rid of them. So it's like, it's just a tattoo. And so it needs to look like the tattoo looks.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my thought on it. Well,
sorry,
so
I'm firing up Black and Gray Week in the background here. If we have,
you're going to see a lot of examples of what I'm talking about then.
Actually, you know what? It'd be interesting, right? So I guess March, April. Are we into May?
Yeah, May.
Okay, so Black and Gray Week is the first week of May at Unify Tattoo. Presuming that he's not running around with Mary Bart's band, Bob's going to be coming.
Nice.
And tattooing and doing seminars. And so this is at a Unified Tattoo in Florida here. Pepper is one of the owners, Pepper and Bart. So this is Pepper's work here. And
yeah, she's really great. I saw some of her paintings in person in Columbus last year. I think they brought some along. They're really great.
Yeah. And then so she does a ton of black and gray tattoo work. Yeah, her paintings are all color surreal. And the gallery space that they have down there in Florida is pretty awesome. St. Augustine has a ton of art galleries and such. And Bart's dialed in, so there's a ton of local sponsors. Let's see, so Marshall Bennett will be there. Whitney, tattooing by Whitney Schiller. She's awesome. She came up to Off the Map back in the day, and those real cool.
Wasn't she on the Tattoo Weekly?
She was actually
a long time. It was a really long time ago.
Yeah,
actually.
And she's on our motorbike. It's pretty awesome. I don't know if she's got any of the pictures here, but she's always running around on a motorbike. Let's see, so Tej Poole, I think he's the last person I know that's confirmed. I apologize if I missed anybody. But yeah, they'll be tattooing black and gray. They'll be teaching black and gray down in Unify, Florida.
Yeah, that's exciting. I met Tej briefly. We both taught seminars at Space City in Huntsville last year, but we taught them, for some reason they scheduled us at the exact same time, just in different rooms. So I don't know how that happened, but I wanted to go through his, but I couldn't because I was teaching mine.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
will
that's
be
really nice.
webcasting these two.
Nice.
So we'll get recordings and webcasting and
Yeah.
pretty psyched. So yeah, I'm gonna catch up with him twice. I've never met him, but he'll be at one of those inspiring tours, and then again here in at Unify. I
Nice.
think him and Bart kind of have a connection that go way back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he didn't. He was a nice guy. Does fantastic work. He didn't have a lot to say. He wasn't super outgoing as far as just like hanging out and talking. But so I didn't get to know him well. But we did meet. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people, well, Nick was sometimes similar. We'll get a similar report, right? Sometimes people are just
Yeah.
kind of into their thing, hard to get past. But then sometimes you do, and it's cool, and sometimes you do, and it's not. I don't know.
Right. So that's May. Let's see, we're almost up on the hour here. Are there any other? I know I don't know what's happening in the summer, but I know in the fall there's the next Paradise in October.
So we do have. So let's see. So there's Hell City that we'll be at in Columbus over the summer.
That's usually May as well. I think
that's May. Yeah, and then October 12th to the 15th is the official Paradise Tattoo Gathering. Is happening again. Yeah, I could share the poster.
The poster looks cool.
Yeah.
It just came out.
Yeah. Okay.
So are you guys, Lauren, will you be at Columbus, at Hell City, Columbus as well?
Yep.
Or do you? Okay.
So okay. So Hell City Columbus, hellcity.com for the dates, May 19th to the 21st. Then the Rubber City is another one that we'll be setting up at as Reinventing, July 28th to the 30th, 2023.
Also in May,
also
our buddy Alex, he's putting on the Da Nang tattoo convention, the first one in Vietnam. So that's a week before Hell City. Yeah. We were talking about going to that actually. So for him to put on one is pretty interesting. I'm sure he has a lot of convention promoters that he works with. So he's pretty well versed. I mean, but he says it's absolutely gorgeous. The venue is beautiful. May shit, it would be.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sad to miss it. That's for sure. Yep, it's near positive.
Yeah, it's not. It's just the location and venue itself. Look, you see that? Yeah. So yeah, we should touch base with him again about that.
Oh yeah. Never visited Vietnam. I never go any place exciting and who was I with? I was with someone over the weekend on New Year's Eve that had just gotten back from Morocco. So man, I never go anyplace cool like that. I go to
I think Stefano was recently in Morocco too. I love Moroccan mint tea. I'd go there straight up just for the mint tea. It's like a third sugar, but mint sugar like tea.
Yeah.
But yeah, this location in Jiminy Peak, Gabe, is awesome.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. It's such a little like hidden gem. When I first got there, I was like, what is this? How did you even find this place? It seems like
one of the nights we were walking to a seminar or something like that, we were walking past and there's an owl right there, just like it was one of us, just sitting there staring at us within 10 feet for a long time. So it's just really, you're in touch with nature. I've never had that happen anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the setting's out of control. We found it from the I was taking my daughter on the Alpine slide.
Yeah.
And as I was walking around, everyone, all the people there were like, hey, we did a motorcycle convention here last weekend. I was like, that's cool. And then the next person was like, hey, we did a motorcycle convention here last weekend. I'm like, that's pretty cool. My bike's been in at the biker's garage for fucking 5 years now. Rub it in. The next person, there was a biker convention. I'm like, how many bikers were here? And they were like 1,000. And I was like, oh, maybe we should do a tattoo convention here. And but it is in the least densely populated. Oh wow, that's really close up. It is in the most least densely populated spot in Massachusetts. So it's but to your point, everybody's point, it means that everyone focuses. There's not very many assholes because it's a lot of effort to get out there to be a jerk. Yeah. Oh, hey there. But
and I love that.
I just want to plug Richmond real quick because
definitely.
That's happening the weekend after.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to Richmond this year just because.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. But yeah, I know we need to wrap it up. But I did love it when we got to Jiminy Peak. As soon as Scott and I got out of the car, Gabe walks up and is like, "Hey, I got tickets for the Alpine slide, but we have to go in the next 5 minutes." So we got out of the car, left all of our stuff in the car, ran to the Alpine slide, took the whatever you call the what do you call the
Ski lift.
The ski lift. Yeah, I took the ski lift up to the top and did the slide. So that was my first 10 minutes of Jiminy Peak, and it just got better from there. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, right. I think what is it? Does it? I guess it's on the weekends, or it's not on the weekends that it's open. I guess it's just the weekend. So like the first couple of days, maybe it's not open, but then it's open like Friday or Friday. Well, I guess we'll have to make sure we figure it out. But that Alpine slide is amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. And luckily I didn't watch any Alpine slide catastrophe videos until after I went on it, because afterwards my wife was showing me some of the crazy stuff that happens on those things.
You could skin yourself pretty bad, you know, and with tattoos, you definitely don't want to be getting like a lot of road rash on your legs, like outside, you know, it just ups the ante of the danger.
Yeah, definitely.
To go as fast as possible without flipping off or skinning yourself.
Right.
But that'll be fun. Cool. And we've got 8 months now to really kind of give it a go, and I'm excited to now that it's the first of the year, we've got the poster in, so it's time to get it going.
Yeah, to start putting together a curriculum, and the goal is still to keep it fairly not to go all out, right? It's going to be limited tickets.
Yeah, I mean, even when we go all out, it's still like, you know, 1/10 of the size of a normal tattoo convention. So you know, part of me is like, you know, yeah, I'm going to go all out, but you know, I mean, I'm not like, I don't think we're going to pack it full of, you know, 60 tattooers, you know, necessarily. You know, focusing and tripling down on the education aspect of it, you know, and then we'll have tattooing for the educational aspect of it. But I'm not exactly sure, like, I'm not right now opening up, like, you know, like I said, I'm not going to open up 30 booths, although there are going to be booths. So if people are interested, you know, definitely get in touch. You know, now's the time where if people are interested in contributing to the show, again, first and foremost, it's about inspiring each other, about education, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, that's always kind of been my first focus on getting to your point, the curriculum, you know, laid out. And, you know, 10 months, or I guess it's 10 months away from now. So it's not, it's coming right up for a lot of people. It's coming up for me already. So I'm hoping in the next month to square away the curriculum. And again, I have a couple of cool ideas, so I want to you know, clinch them. And then
I'd love to help brainstorm on them. I've got a few as well. And I had a couple of people that that reached out. They were disappointed that it wasn't done this past year because it was landing kind of right with Richmond. And a couple of people that I saw at Richmond were like, "Oh, we were going to skip Richmond and come to Jiminy Peak this year." And those people specifically, I was like, "Oh, if you were coming out, you should definitely teach a seminar. You shouldn't just come out."
Cool. So, well, let's catch up. Let's definitely catch up about that. Like this afternoon.
All right, sounds good.
Now's the time. I think I'm already late, right? Like,
yeah, probably so. All right, we're 5 minutes over, so I guess we've said it all.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Next week, tune in for episode number 59.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Okay. Good to see you all.
We got to change our intro at some point.
Right. Eventually.
Cheers.